After their first experiment succeeded, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak were ready for something bigger. In the previous chapter, we saw how the partnership between Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak began to grow stronger. Their small experiment with the blue box had already shown them something important. When they worked together, they could build powerful technology, but neither of them knew that their next idea would start a revolution. In the mid-1970s, computers were very different from what we know today. They were massive machines used mostly by governments, universities, and large corporations. For ordinary people, owning a computer seemed almost impossible. But a small community of technology enthusiasts believed something different. They believed computers could become personal tools that individuals could use in their everyday lives. One of the places where these ideas were shared was a group known as the Homebrew Computer Club in California. Engineers, programmers, and hobbyists gathered there to exchange ideas and experiment with new computer technology. Steve Wozniak attended those meetings. Inspired by what he saw, Wozniak began designing a computer of his own. Night after night, he worked on circuits and wrote code, trying to create something simple and affordable. Unlike the giant machines of that time, Wozniak wanted his computer to be accessible, something ordinary people could actually use. Eventually, he built the first working version. When he showed the machine to Steve Jobs, everything changed. While Wozniak saw the invention as an exciting hobby project, Jobs immediately saw something much bigger. He believed they had created something the world would want. Jobs imagined a future where people everywhere could own personal computers. But there was one major problem. They had almost no money. Still, they refused to give up. To raise funds, Steve Jobs sold his Volkswagen van, while Steve Wozniak sold his prized HP scientific calculator. With the small amount of money they raised, they bought the electronic parts needed to build their machines. But they still didn't have a factory. They didn't even have an office. What they had was a small garage at the home of Jobs' parents. Inside that modest garage, surrounded by tools and electronic parts, the two friends began assembling computers by hand. They spent long hours soldering circuits, testing components, and solving technical problems. The garage was crowded with wires, circuit boards, and unfinished machines. But that small space would soon become one of the most famous garages in the history of technology. It was there that they created their first computer, the Apple I. The Apple I was different from other computer kits available at the time. Instead of requiring customers to assemble every part themselves, it came with a fully assembled circuit board. This made it much easier for people to begin experimenting with computers. Soon, a local computer store agreed to purchase several units. For the first time, Jobs and Wozniak had real customers. What started as a simple project between the friends inside a small garage was slowly becoming a real company. That company would soon be known as Apple Inc. The journey had officially begun, but this was only the beginning. Because in the next chapter, Apple's small garage startup will begin to grow faster than anyone expected, and the world will start paying attention.